We are live and Gargi is wearing green because, as you will know, it's RCB playing and they are going to play with the green jersey. So it's Royal Challengers Bangalore versus Rajasthan Royals at the M Chinnaswamy Stadium. And before we spill the beans, Harshit has spilled his coffee for this match. Welcome, Harshit. So, wow, this is the green jersey that I absolutely love. RCB.
Is she wearing something green today?
Of course she is. Of course. And look, she's also wearing black. Black and green.
Black, green and gold, I made the perfect combination.
Of course. So, for people who are wondering why are RCB playing in green today, it is in tribute for Earth Day.
Yes.
And every year they will play one match with the green jersey, and where they will present a plant or any other environmental thing which will ensure that the earth is a safer place to be. So at the M Chinnaswamy Stadium, oh boy, breaking news, Virat Kohli is leading. Faf has still not recovered from it, and Sanju Samson seems to have won the toss. What he's going to do?
I think he'll bowl first.
Yeah, Chinnaswamy.
But the day game, remember, when RCB batted,
right. They'd also...
they'd want to bat first.
Loves chasing, na?
Yeah, that's the thing. So Sanju has won the toss, and let's see what he does. I think he will want to bowl. He has bowled.
Okay.
It's always good to know the target. All said and done, it's that format of the game. Especially day game, yes, you're right. Dew probably won't play a role here, given the fact that it's a day game. But all said and done, at a flat deck like the Chinnaswamy, you do want to know the target, and yes, RR would believe they've got the resources to chase down anything at the moment, I would say.
Absolutely. See, batting and bowling, RCB and RR are quite evenly matched. The bowling has a slight edge.
Yes, RR does have a slight edge, but then again, RCB has also been doing well, I believe.
Yeah, they are typical RCB. Up at one point, down at the other
that's
point.
That's not going to happen this time. Please, sit out.
It always happens.
Gargi, quick question for you. Are you into superstitions?
Not really, because they've never worked for me for that reason.
And how do you sort of gauge, let's say,
the green jerseys,
the patterns, and how much of importance do you, let's say, give to history, let's say?
Okay, but there was also this streak of not winning home games this IPL, but then RCB won it. So
that was against Delhi.
A win is a win, okay. And then again, I remember in a green jersey, there's this whole thing about not winning when they're wearing a green jersey, but they also did they not put up one of the highest scores?
If I'm not wrong, they did.
Yeah.
See, on this day, they had 263 for 5.
It was this day, right?
Yes.
So it was just yesterday, Shivar and I were talking about the green jersey, right? And I told him that this was in the green jersey that RCB had put up 263.
Yeah.
No, they didn't put up 263 with the green jersey.
They
no.
did.
They did. I think they did.
Yes.
And we were having this
What was the Gale jersey? I remember clearly. It was red.
It was red and green. I think it never used to be so. So I don't think it used to have black and green.
They never made
Anurag,
that score with the green jersey. It was with the red jersey. Trust me.
I think there was a tinge of green on it or something.
I did ball by ball commentary. I remember. I did ball by ball commentary for that match. Chris Gale 175. It wasn't a green jersey. It was against Sahara Pune Warriors. It wasn't a green jersey.
I think one of those.
Yes.
AB's one of fastest 50s or something also came.
Something happened in a green jersey.
Happened. Very big, and it was very big.
Gujarat Lions, Kohli and De Villiers scoring centuries.
I think
that
it was
the green
AB's
jersey.
fastest century or something.
I think Kohli made about 108 or something. De Villiers made 133. Shivil Kaushik bore the brunt of the assault. No, 3 overs for 50. So.
But do you think the green jersey hoodoo exists?
It does.
See, historically it does. But I want to know from the RCB fan here. Do you think that the hoodoo exists?
No.
No? In the fan base, let's say, in the RCB community,
I think
amongst the fans.
It does not.
Are the fans a little skeptical? Let's say, okay, we all love the initiative and everything. But then, let's say, over what? I think this is the 7th or the 8th time the edition in which they're playing in green jersey.
Yes.
Right? It started only in 2011, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. But incidentally on the
It
day
doesn't, right?
In the fandom, it does.
It does?
But for me, it does not.
So, incidentally, on the same day when they made 263 in 2013, 4 years later, they were bundled out for 49. 5 years later, bundled out for 68 by SRH.
3 years and 5 years, right?
Yeah. And if you look at the trend, actually nothing should happen now. Yeah, it started from year 2014. 2014 onwards was the green jersey.
No, when was the first time?
14.
14, then 17.
Which one? The green jersey has been a regular since
No,
14.
not the green jersey, the two totals you mentioned.
2013 was the highest score, 263.
Yeah.
2017 KKR 49. 2022 was 68 SRH.
So 14 and 16.
Okay.
14 and 16, what is 16?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure.
Exactly. 2017 IPL.
17, sorry.
17 IPL, KKR bowled RCB out of 49. And 2022, SRH bowled them out for 68. Kohli gone for a first ball duck. So that is the way. And let's see, is there any changes we'll have to see in the team sheets? I think I may have gotten the team sheets. I hope so. No, I haven't gotten the team sheets yet. Nope, I haven't got it. So let's wait for the team sheets.
Parnell is out.
Parnell.
Oh,
Willie replaced him.
Oh yes, Willie was getting a long run in the. Was getting a very extended session, you may say, before the match. So yes, Royal Challengers Bangalore have got one change. What did Kohli say at the toss? Let's just see. Okay, it was pretty easy to choose. He would have batted first. This wicket looks dry and will get drier and might break up first. Okay, I didn't say that to Sanju, but I'm very happy to bat first. We both get to do what we wanted. They informed me last time saying I might have to captain a couple of games, nothing I'm not used to doing. So I'm happy to step in, ready to continue from whatever Faf has been doing. The team has responded well, they're playing with a lot of energy and that showed in the last game. One change for us, Parnell is out and he will be replaced by David Willey. Faf will be the
Parnell
impact
too
sub.
expensive though last time around? I remember him taking the all-important wicket of Prabsimran.
Yes.
Because that really changed the momentum.
I think he bowled well. I think.
He bowled decent. I
He
remember
bowled
because
very well.
we were in the ground that time and we were just trying to look at his lines. And there was a good change in line, which is why he got that wicket. Rather good change in length that he got that wicket of Prabsimran. And I think he got one more wicket if I'm not wrong. But he was a little. I felt that he was a tad short on the day. He wasn't really mixing it up as much as we are used to seeing from him. But otherwise. I would still look at Parnell as a better batting option, let's say, than Willie. That's
No, Willie is a better batter.
no.
I'm not too sure though. How much have we seen of Willie, let's say, in the IPL?
Not so much in the IPL, but if you look at internationals, you look at other leagues, Willie is a
How's
far
he been
better
doing
batter.
off late? Have you been tracking?
Nah, Willie is not done much with the bat in the last couple of seasons. But yes, same goes with Parnell. Parnell is much more experienced than Willie.
Yeah.
But I think you would want to give him because Willie is a good power play bowler. Slightly better than Parnell. On the other hand, he can also have those big hits. So looking at it, they are batting all the way till number 8. Faf du Plessis might be the impact player and
Yeah,
maybe
for sure.
who will come in if Vishak is starting.
Rather, they'll be batting till number 10.
No.
So this
Number
is
10?
their batting 11 now?
Yes.
So they're batting till number 9. Why will you not count Hasaranga there?
Hasaranga,
He's a decent bat, can give you some runs.
Did he not come in last time in?
I think though he was sent later.
Huh.
Yes, I remember the match that we went for, right?
Yes.
I think he came, but I think he was a little late. But by then, I think the innings had almost ended.
Yeah, so who will be the impact sub then? Because
No, maybe didn't. I think they lost just 4 wickets, not that day.
The RCB's impact subs are Patel, Allen, Akashdeep, Karan Sharma and Anuj Rao.
so maybe Harshal.
Harshal.
Harshal will be your impact player. Du Plessis is out. Harshal comes in.
They're batting first, no?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So when they're bowling,
Faf will go out, no?
Faf will go out, he'll be the impact, and Harshal will come in. That will be the way how RCB will operate. On the other hand, no changes in the Rajasthan Royals lineup. They are playing with the same team.
And their last game was against.
I think it was GT.
GT.
Yes, that low scoring match.
Not low scoring, high scoring match.
200 something.
190.
No. 190 was it?
Yes.
I'm so confused with all of the matches.
I am now.
GT,
I
remember? Sanju Samson and Shimron Hetmeyer, they managed to score some
that
quick
quick fire
run.
50 from. Yes.
Yes, so.
I think I've now reached that stage wherein I'm starting to confuse games now and forget
so
games
am I.
now.
Yeah, it's 30 plus
30
games.
matches now, yeah.
Yep, so this is the playing 11 for RR. Joss Butler will be a key player. Yashasvi Jaiswal, Sanju Samson, Devdutt Padikkal, Shimron Hetmeyer, Dhruv Jurel, Ravichandran Ashwin, Jason Holder, Trent Bolt, Sandeep Sharma, Yuzi Chahal, and if they are batting second, well, they will get in one more batter then. Who will be the impact player then? Have they announced the impact subs?
Jurel is there? Yeah, he's there.
Anurag, have they announced the impact subs?
Do you reckon
Yeah.
Riyan Parag might come?
Wow.
Murugan Ashwin, Akash Vashish, KM Asif, Abdul Basit, and Donovan.
Donovan Ferreira, nah.
So
Wow.
there is no Riyan Parag in
No
the
Riyan
subs
Parag
also.
at all.
Oh, Riyan Parag in the subs, yes. But yeah, I think, see, his time was anyway, he was on thin ice.
Yeah, he was running out of time because they gave him what? 5-6 matches? 6 matches they played.
5 matches.
Not all of them, because I think there were 2 occasions in which him and Padikkal swapped. Rather 3 matches.
One match.
3.
That I
There
don't
hasn't been
know.
a single game, I think, in which both of them have played. If Padikkal has played, Parag hasn't, and the other way around, I believe.
Yeah, so Padikkal has been but he's struggled. See, if you look at it, Butler, Jaiswal, Samson, they have been in good form. Shimron Hetmeyer has been in good form. Dhruv Jurel,
Jurel is in good form.
but Padikkal's form is a worry.
Yes.
But no better way to turn it around than in this home ground.
But again, that I'd be less worried for a Devdutt Padikkal as RCB management than I would be for a Riyan Parag. He's still given me a little more runs, a little more confidence, let's say, if that counts for anything. Yes, I know that big innings is still sort of eluding Devdutt Padikkal at the moment, and many would feel that he's still not fulfilling his potential as a batter. But let's also not forget that he's batting out of position. Number 4 is not where he's suited, nor at number 3, I would say. He's got to be opening and he's batting out of position. We know that.
Gargi, strengths and weakness of this RCB playing 11. Do you see what could be the potential trouble areas? And we know the strengths, but remember, even there was a little bit of speculation on Virat Kohli's strike rate in the previous game, 59 of 47.
Gargi, I hope you didn't see that reel though.
I did. Right as you went by, I turned on my phone and watched it.
You want to tell them about, since we're talking about strike rates, give everyone a holistic view of what's been talked about as far as Virat's strike rate is concerned.
There has been talk, I know, and he's coming back off of a very tough time. And he's going to take
That's past him, isn't it?
It is past him, but there are a few games where he struggles right now. And I don't see, strike rate is an important part of the game, an important part of batting, but sometimes strike rate doesn't really show you what the reality, the view of what is really happening.
Agreed.
A strike rate won't show you what the surface was doing, how the opposition was. Maybe I'm batting at a strike rate of 100, but then wickets from the other end are falling. So I need to, make sure that I have the batting lineup anchored or something. These things happen. Sure, Virat Kohli batted a little slow in the last match, but Faf du Plessis from the other end was firing. So I think it was a sort of a partnership that they were getting on, and maybe they did not want to break that partnership or something. Could be anything. We don't know. We're not in their heads. We don't know what they're thinking about or what their plan is. But it seemed to work for them. So I don't really understand where the complaints are coming from.
Are they justified? Do you think the whole talk around the strike rates, and Sidvi, if you could answer that as well, do you think are we over analyzing and over dissecting the whole strike rate issue, or
let her answer first.
First the batter herself, she's been in those match situations far more than any of us. So do you think, let's say, what really happens, let's say, like Virat Kohli says and many other cricketers have said, this is all outside noise. We don't look at the game with that sort of a lens. With that we're not just looking at strike rate at all times.
Yeah.
But do you think it's the outside world? It's YouTubers like us who look at strike rates much more than the team management and the players?
I think as viewers are the strike rate is the new obsession with us.
Okay.
I believe it is. I mean, see, it's a very tricky debate to have because then again you can't really say that someone batting with a 90 strike rate is doing well, because you don't want that either, right? You want to come in, you need to get quick runs because it's a T20 game. Everyone is performing now, and the standard average totals are 190, 200. So in day and age like this, you need to perform well. You need to be firing. But then again, like I said, you don't. A strike rate does not define what the situation was like. And of course, when you go into bat as a player, you're not looking at your strike rate. You're not looking at the scoreboard and counting your strike rate and seeing what's going on. You're looking at what I need to do next and how to target this bowler, or where I need to get my boundaries in. Maybe a bowler is coming in and bowling really tight lines and I'm not able to get a single boundary off of it. Then I'm looking at only loose balls. Then my only hope is I'm going to get the next whatever, be it 1 or 2 loose balls in an over, I'll get a boundary off of that. So it's a difficult situation. You know, we analyze in hindsight, and hindsight makes the viewer a master.
Well, when you try to make it in foresight, you run the risk of being trolled. Okay, I'll tell you why. Because
being trolled or getting out and then getting trolled?
Maybe being trolled. I'll tell you why. Because when is a strike rate factor important? If firstly we don't know what is the acceptable benchmark of a strike rate.
True.
We first don't know that. With an average, nowadays the yardsticks have changed. Maybe in ODIs or tests, in tests an average of 50 is considered to be the ultimate gold standard, isn't it? 50 plus. ODIs 45 plus is considered the yardstick for excellence.
You're talking about strike rate or average?
No, average.
Yeah.
But for strike rate, the phenomenon has come in the last, ever since the IPL has come.
This year or the inception?
Inception. Strike rates, the way how T20s are played.
Of course.
We are now looking at strike rates. For example, a 68 of 61 that KL Rahul
yesterday.
Yes. If Lucknow had won, perhaps he could have been absolved partly of the crime.
To a great extent, I think he would have been.
Yeah.
To a great extent.
But it became a double whammy.
Yes, because
Not only did he not get Lucknow over the line, 50 of 32, but the next 18 runs came off 28 balls.
and he consumed 50% of the overs.
See, that's what I'm
50%.
talking about. Now, the situation you can't tell with strike rate.
It has to be situational, but if a 68 of 61 gives you a win,
Then
you
it's
can
fine.
take it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Win is the main criteria.
It is very subjective. Strike rates are very subjective.
No, that subjectivity goes out if you win.
Yeah.
See,
That's what I'm
Ben
That's
Stokes,
what means.
Ben Stokes, he hit a 50 of 48 balls in the World T20 final.
Look at what Anurag has to
Wait,
say.
I'll get to that. Okay.
Oh my god.
So just for the benefit of our family members, Anurag, our dear producer and our dear friend, has a question, I think directed at one of us wearing red.
Yes. I'll tell you why.
He
Okay.
asked Sidvi, then why are we questioning Mahendra Singh Dhoni's strike rate?
The question itself is wrong. I never questioned Dhoni's strike rate
Template. But
that
then in many
template
ways,
is the key, because see, I don't mind Dhoni hitting a 32 of a 17, and also if you look at it, maybe the team loses despite that 2 runs. I didn't criticize MS Dhoni when CSK lost to RCB of 1 run in 2019. At least he tried. He had that intent. Here, first 2 overs, he didn't have the intent. That is why.
Chalo,
Later
we're not
on
gonna
making
drag
that
out.
is why.
Yeah.
Thank
So-
you, Anurag, for taking us back to a debate which we've had twice already.
Thrice.
Conclusions of
Thrice already.
Thrice.
And we will come back to this. This debate isn't, dying anytime soon. But after the IPL gets over on one fine day,
Yeah.
which will.
So that is what Soumya Das Gupta saying. Rohan Gavaskar made an important point. David Miller took 12 balls to score 6 runs. was a strong indicator of how difficult it would be to score on this wicket. Credit to Gargi, who got spot on with her prediction. Yes. But as I said, a 6 of 12, if LSG had won, Miller's knock would have been criticized. But because KL Rahul managed to do a 1 out of 10, when you lose, who loses from 31 needed of 36 with 9 wickets in hand?
True.
Rarely.
True.
You look at Ben Stokes, that World T20 final. Was his strike rate in excess of 150?
Even Butler.
Even
the whole England template, by the way, changed. We harp a lot on this England template and this wham bang cricket that they are apparently showing to the world. But their template sort of went for a toss, I would say. But that's also not to say that that this is an England side that plays just for strike rates, and that this is an England side that just goes all out. They're also very smart operators.
Yeah.
And I think I've said it multiple times on this show now. At times, let's say when we make that comparison with Indian players and English players, we tend to forget, or we tend to sort of not give the Englishmen the credit that they're also very smart operators, and that's where we at times lack.
Yep.
What we saw in that final was extremely smart cricket, wherein they kept the scoreboard ticking and they never really let the chase go out of hand.
Exactly. So that is why strike rate, see, for example, Virat Kohli batted slowly, but since RCB won the game, his strike rate is not an issue, but it will become an issue depending on the result and on the, you may say, scope of the match. What if it's a final? What if it's a knockout? Then you have to look at the entire situation.
I sort of agree, but there is one situation which in particular I would want to talk about when talking about strike rates, and then maybe we can touch upon some of the other things as well. There's been too much of talk around strike rates and Virat Kohli, but the one situation in which strike rates should be looked closely, and I think I'm pretty firm on that, and that's the power play.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that this format came up for batsmen. This regulation of there being field restrictions is for the batsmen, it doesn't help the bowlers. Now, if you can't maximize this whole fielding restriction, and then if you're saying that the best bowlers come into bowl and that's why the strike rates drop, because you have to reassess the field situation, because you have to reassess things after the power play gets over, then there's only one way that you justify being an opener and you justify, your spot right up top, and that is by maximizing those field restrictions. So you can't be operating, let's say, regardless of the pitch. You've got 10 wickets with this impact player rule now. Rather, I would say you're batting till number 8, 9, something that we haven't seen happen in the past. Now, if you have that kind of batting depth, you get no points for taking wickets back home or for saving up those wickets. You take your chances. The bowlers can very well be saying, from ball 1, there won't be any field restrictions. Give me 4 players, 5 players outside the ring, but that doesn't happen.
Yep, it doesn't happen.
Because essentially the reason why power play was made, that addition was made, is to give batsmen an upper hand in the game.
Exactly. So if there are batters out there who say that the pitch was playing differently and we had to, I'd just be a little harsh in terms of saying that the bowlers don't get given so much leeway, then why the batters? You have the bowlers can say, okay, we were given a flat deck to bowl on, we weren't getting any assistance, but the batters, batters can say, okay, the pitch was behaving a bit, the pitch was slow, the pitch was turning square, so we had to reassess. And then you go back with 6 wickets in hand or 5 wickets in hand. What is all the batting depth for if you can't take your chances up front?
Right.
Yep. Oh boy, 58 meters and 54 meters. Those fine leg and third man boundaries. What an absolute abomination.
You don't call it an abomination.
Of course it is.
It is 55
It's
meters,
like a kid's park.
Exactly. You got the 30-yard circle and then
24 meters ahead is the
24,
boundary.
Yeah, that's not even double the inner circle then.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Gargi, your fan, please take this.
Soumya Das Gupta says, I think it means Gargi.
Gargi, yes.
Excellent addition to the team. She understands the game, has clarity of thought and has her own opinion, doesn't go with the flow with what senior pros are saying.
Yes.
So, thank you.
Let's take the other super chat, Anurag. if you observe RCB matches, Shubham Garg is saying Virat has more scoring shots than Faf, but he's not a six hitter, due to which his strike rate drops compared to Faf. I mean,
that's not his game.
it's not his game.
His game.
Yo, what was it? Can I have a look at the comment again? If you observe, this is Shubham Garg.
Yeah, Shubham Garg. Yes.
Says that if you observe RCB matches, Virat has more scoring shots than Faf. I think he means the variety of shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yep.
Okay, then he says that, but he's not a six hitter, due to which the strike rate drops compared to Faf. But I'll tell you what, Shubham Garg, and you guys can disagree with me if you feel like. The one difference that I've seen between Faf and Virat Kohli, and I think this was evident in the previous match, that Faf does tend to accelerate a little more than Virat towards the end. Once he's got his eye in, he's giving you much more in terms of runs with the bat than Virat Kohli after he has his eye in, and he operates at a higher strike rate then.
Yeah.
Yep. Maybe that is the case. But I guess either you be comfortable with the anchor role. That
I think they are, and that's not to say, when I make that point, that's not to say I'm critical of Virat Kohli, because many a times what happens, it's the team philosophy. The team philosophy is like that. They are okay with one of the openers playing an anchor innings, and it's not just to do with RCB, it's got to do with other franchises as well. That they're fine with one of the openers being the anchor, the other can be the aggressor, and they want some sort of an assurance. And in case of RCB, Virat Kohli in himself is a much bigger insurance policy than anyone can hope for.
Because it does give you the leeway of, if one man, someone like Virat Kohli is walking in and batting longer than the other batters, it gives you the advantage of wanting to go and hit as much as you want.
But again, remember, this policy also has a certain flaw. It could backfire at a bigger stage.
Yes.
That is the risk you carry. But until and unless it continues to have success, maybe there will not be so much talk about it. Because at the end of the day, see, we are winning. Why create such a big hullabaloo about it? But on the given day, supposing if you lose in the second qualifier, then you'll wonder, man, why couldn't we have shown intent? But by that time, you're already crying from the rooftops, boss, this is the situation. Then having foresight, you can get trolled at that point in time, but you say, oh yeah, in hindsight he was right. That is the risk also. So what is GGK telling us? GGK is saying, so you mean an opening batsman's slow innings will be defined by if middle order finishers, just go down a bit, I can't, that arrows there, huh? Okay, so you mean a opening batsman's slow innings will be defined by if middle order finishers will win the match for them or not. A miracle win by finishers should not absolve slow innings of top order.
I agree to an extent. Because let's not forget that in the T20 World Cup last year, one of the biggest reasons India found it hard on a couple of occasions, and that was including the South Africa game, including I think the Bangladesh game, which was also a tough victory. One of the stats that remains with me and still is in my head is the fact that India were one of the slowest teams in the power play.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think only ahead of Zimbabwe,
and I think this was
Afghanistan.
This also, by the way, took into account some of the teams that had played the qualifiers.
Yep.
So in a pool of about 10-12 teams, India was ranked number 10th or number 8.
Yep.
Now, if you're not getting good starts, then that puts just crazy amount of pressure on your middle order.
Yes.
And that's where the questions have to be asked and the knives will have to be pulled out, because we know that the fact that yes, there were a few who would complain in the Indian middle order that why is it that we are asked to do the heavy lifting at all times?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, see, miracle win by finisher should not absolve student top order. Yeah, it shouldn't. But again, supposing if the top order bats slowly but then helps you win, then I think, as I said, result is the criteria.
Result is the criteria. But I think
he makes a valid point.
Very pertinent point. It can't be like, the openers can say that, okay, we were assessing the situation and whatnot, but you can't expect people batting at number 4, number 5 to come and just go, slam bang from ball 1. There you're expected to have strike rates of about 200, 220 in this modern day and age, but not for the batter. Again, you've got to apply the same sort of yardstick to everyone.
Yep. But by the way, Virat Kohli will be facing up to a much more potent bowling lineup. Trent Bolt will open the bowling and Sandeep Sharma. Remember, Sandeep has got him out 7 times.
And he averages just 11.
Gun bowler Sandeep
is
Sharma.
dangerous for RCB.
Very, very. And I think he got rid of Gale and Kohli once in a match. I think he hasn't dismissed de Villiers. Yeah, I think he did. Gale, I think, was an outswinger that he dismissed him in Dubai, I suppose. So,
Prediction time maybe?
yeah. Man, this is a tough one.
We come to Gargi right towards the end for obvious reasons.
You start first. I think he's gone. He's gone. He's gone.
A golden duck for Virat Kohli.
100th wicket for Trent Bolt in IPL.
And what a way to start. What a way to start.
Whoa, what a ball.
Maybe the green jersey is cursed.
What a ball
And
from
he's not
Trent
even
Bolt.
reviewing it. He knows it's plum.
It's
It's
plum,
plum.
Okay then.
That same delivery, 2019 World Cup semi-final.
Yes.
Same. Came in, Kohli played round and
Look at
boom.
plum. It is as plum as it gets.
Trent Alexander
Trent
Bolt.
with his in-swingers. We saw that against the Delhi Capitals when he got rid of I think it was first Manish Pandey and I think Prithvi Shaw.
Oh yes.
Yes.
He got, but again, 6th time he stuck in the first over.
Yes.
6th time.
What an in-swinger.
What
an in-swinger, yeah.
Brilliant from Trent Bolt. And yes, Gargi,
We didn't get your prediction
Just
yet.
get to the
because the boy got about 20.
Gargi, right to she will now-
You start.
I am going to go with a Rajasthan win over here, and that's not to do with the green jersey hoodoo or the green jersey jinx. But I do feel RR are a much better team over here, a much better unit in both batting and bowling. And given the start that they have, I would say that even gives me more assurance in terms of my prediction.
Yeah.
With regards to the RCB score, I would go with. Who's that though?
Shabazz.
They promoted.
Yep, they promoted Shabazz. What
Left,
score?
right? Left, right?
Yeah, left, right.
right.
Left, right.
I would go with a score of 172.
172. This is a tough one because see, I had picked both RR and RCB as my top 4. In the
Your
top
top
4.
four?
Yes.
I
RR
think amongst all of us, you're the only one who backed RCB to finish in the top 4.
is hello.
No, when we did the predictions before she came.
Before you
I
came,
wasn't
yeah.
there.
See, what happened here?
Nothing.
Close. So RR, GT, RCB, CSK. These are my 4 picks. So it's a tough one, but I think I will go with RR. But RCB are making 175.
So I've gone with 72, you're going with 75.
Gargi.
I was initially going to say 210, but since Virat is out now, I'm going to say 195 to 200 and RCB win.
So it was in the air. It was in the air. Luckily, it fell short of the
It
fielder.
was very short.
Anurag?
RR.
RR?
Okay.
3R.
Please, to
RRR.
One
this
woman in the house.
too dear.
But it can
Please
happen.
don't blame us of any gender bias, guys. Please, no. We're very gender neutral as an
Yep.
organization, as a team. So don't throw us.
Yep. Please. Can we just see some of the comments and I think we'll sign off. What are the other comments?
I think people may be pretty.
Oh, same dismissal. Yep. Oh man, that's plum. Absolutely plum.
Let's not read.
But at that time, Kohli had scored 1 of 5.
Gargi Singh, let's not see it again and again. Gargi, I think you
replaying
shouldn't be watching this innings anymore because this is going to be something that's going to be replayed multiple times.
Yeah.
It'll come in the timeout, it'll come at the innings break, it'll come when they show the wickets
Yes.
package.
Because remember,
Trent Bolt is bowling very well.
brilliantly, yes.
Brilliantly. He's got his line and length.
And remember, only Maxwell and Duplessis have scored 50s. None of the others have scored a 50 in this RCB batting lineup.
Who and who?
Kohli, Maxwell, Duplessis. These are the only 3 guys who have hit 50s. None of the others. That shows RCB with their batting very top order.
Top heavy.
Very
top heavy.
Unfortunately, that hasn't changed. So, yep. That is about it. We'll be back for the mid innings to see who gets the prediction right as far as score is concerned. But as I said, it's a very tough thing for me. So, I've said RR, but I'm not said it with that much of conviction.
So you're gonna flip flop.
Maybe because I told you,
Flip flop.
I told you, I've picked those two as my top 4.
And there can only be one winner, na?
Yeah, but that's what I will just. Oh, Navita, come on, yeah.
Anurag, do you think
It's
Sachin will
not-
flip flop?
No, don't have a poll for that.
He's saying don't have a poll.
Don't have a poll for that. Okay, thank you guys. See you in the mid innings.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Does this absolve Rahul Maiden to Bolt? GGK? No, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't.
No.
Yeah. Okay. See you from me, Gargi and Harshit. Vanakkam, Nandri.